welcome to Squirrel Tail. On this video, I'm going to be taking a look and doing a review of the second model Pedersoli Brown Bess. Now, I am not one, and if you follow the channel, I'm not a big kit gun guy or a factory flintlock guy. I have no issue with them. I think they're great because they get a lot of people into the sport. Most of my guns I built myself because I enjoy the process of building them. But I wanted last winter, I've wanted one for a while, a Brown Bess to accompany my Ferguson rifle, which I have, which is a Track of the Wolf deal, which was also kind of a kit gun. But, you know, the Brown Bess or the Ferguson would have served alongside the Brown Bess, the few of the Fergusons made. So I figured since I have the advanced rifle, I would like to have the standard infantry rifle. So I looked at different options to doing a Brown Bess. I thought about building one from scratch like I normally did, but with my time constraint, you know, working and having so many other projects, I figure it might be better off just going with the Pedersoli. So the basic facts about it: it's 54 inches long. It's a 75 caliber bore. The lock takes 1-inch flints. Smooth bore, metal ramrod, brass hardware. The barrel is, everything is pin construction. There's no bands like on the Charleville muskets. Now, when it comes to how historically accurate, I'm not going to speak upon that because, quite frankly, I can't say I've handled a lot of original Brown Besses. I might have handled one once, but, you know, it's not like I can take an original and sit down and compare, which would only be the only way to do that review properly. But it does look good from looking at pictures. And I do know these are popular within the reenactment community. Now, when it comes to functionality, I am fairly impressed with it. One of my big things, and when it comes to factory and kit guns, especially mainly with flintlocks, not so much percussions, is they cheap out on the lock, and then you don't get good spark, and then you don't have a reliable action. I think flintlock's reputation of being unreliable partially stems from people shooting a cheaper kit gun and that not being reliable compared to if they had a Chambers lock or a Seiler lock. It would really improve the reliability. But I was happy when looking at the lock. I left that out to take out the screws out. Big heavy mainspring. And overall, in my opinion, it has no issue sparking and giving a quick ignition. You know, as long as the touch hole is good and clear and everything, I find it to be a very reliable gun. You know, that if you look at that lock compared to here's a percussion off a kit gun, you can obviously it's a smaller lock, but you can see how flimsy that spring is. Or worse yet, some of them were made with coil springs, which would have been not authentic. And they have a very bad, reliability-ness to them because they don't produce a lot of spark. So the lock, I'm definitely in favor of. The barrel, I mean, it's a smooth bore. It does what it needs to do. And the gun was solid. Now, this was purchased as a kit. You had two options. You can buy it as a complete gun, or you can buy it as a kit. I'm not going to give prices because I know that can get weird with YouTube. But the difference between the kit and the finished gun is $350, about, give or take $1 or $2. And in my opinion, the kit is wet. I mean, I think it took me 10 to 12 hours to finish the kit. So, I mean, a little bit. Now, I also do have all the tools ready to go to do it. But at the same time, I also finished this way more than someone really needed to, mainly because of the figure in that wood. I think I took this down to 350, 400 grit sandpaper, when really you could easily have quit at 200 or 220 and put on some shellac or put on your finishing method. But in my personal opinion, if you have some basic tools, couple files to do a little bit of the shaping and some sanders, really, you probably could have got by with an orbital sander and hand sandpaper. It came that good. Because that was the one thing, and I do have some pictures of it in the box. It came with the flint on and everything. You could literally pull it out of the box as a kit, load it, and fire it. Which is a lot, way closer being done than I'm used to. But, like I said, it wasn't a hard project. And for a $350 difference, it's enjoyable to work on. I think the kit is a better deal. But obviously, if you have no woodworking experience, that might change it for you. And again, it wasn't hard to build. Now, a few of the complaints that I did have, or really probably the only one, is the fitting of the ramrod thimbles. They came in there and got a router and just kind of buzzed it out, which I get it. It's a factory gun. They're trying to be efficient. But I really couldn't there's a gap with the router. And the only way, to be honest, that I was able to fix that, to make it not obvious, was with a little bit of 5-minute epoxy and filler. So I know, which, don't like doing that, but that's probably my only real complaint about the construction of the gun, was the fitting of the ramrod thimbles. Everything else was solid. I buffed it up, I got the brass all polished up fairly easily. And it was a fun little project. Just good. I did it in the winter, so it was cold. I was able to go in the shop with a file and spend a couple evenings in there and do that. And it functions fine. I've shot it with both round ball and shot. So, and that being said, I think I'm gonna move on to who I would recommend buying this. Now, again, the gun I think is perfect. If you want a brown Bess for the money and the effort taken, I think that this is your easiest best bet. Now, if you want a first model or you want are trying to be super historically accurate and want everything perfect, yeah, then you might have to look at other options, but if that's the case, you're probably not watching this video. Now, one thing I want to say with this gun is if you're looking to hunt with it, I would not recommend this being your only flintlock. Say you're, okay, I want to start hunting in the flintlock season. Like, you know, in Pennsylvania, we have a flintlock season that goes from Christmas through January. You know, and that's a nice time to go flintlock hunting. If you're trying to get a gun to do that, to hunt with, and you don't have any other flintlocks, I would not recommend buying this for that. They can be accurate. And this isn't the Pedersoli brown bass. I feel like this would apply to any brown bass. They can be accurate, but they are hard to be accurate with. Mainly due to the fact of that is your sight. So if you are trying to have something to shoot accurately with, you're trying to center up the target with the bayonet lug, or look at the bayonet, like how much bayonet lug do you want exposed above your barrel for your elevation. I know there's people, I've talked to people, I've seen videos of people who've gotten very accurate with these guns. You know, watch videos of people doing it. But I think for the common hunter, this would not be something you would want to try to mess with it if all you're worried about is hunting the flintlock season. I would say if there's other options out there, something with both a front and rear sight, preferably rifling. I know smoothbores can be accurate, but I think for hunting that would be your better bet. But if you're like me, who already has other guns to hunt with and is looking for a brown bess for the historical cool factor of it, I think that this is a great option to get the feel of shooting a brown bess. I mean, it's good construction, not hard to build, not with current prices, it's not crazy unaffordable. And if you want to know the prices, a quick Google search will show you that. But overall, it's a fun gun, a good piece, and it's was definitely a nice addition to my collection. So next I have a couple clips of me shooting it, so go watch them and have a good day.
Thanks for watching. Remember to like, comment, subscribe for more great content, and check out our Instagram page at @SquirrelTailShow.